What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another Classic WoW video for Mists of Pandaria Classic. Now, I am enjoying the launch a lot, and I think there's a lot of things to do in the game right now, and to me I'm just having a bunch of fun and having an absolute blast playing Pandaria, and I will be honest and say, it's been more fun than I was actually, expecting as well. So for me, it's been a really good launch. That being said, there's one thing I really want to talk about today, that is arguably the worst thing in the game right now, and one of the only bad things that I have to say so far about the launch experience. So one quick word from today's sponsor, aka myself, and then we get into the video. This video is sponsored by Solheim's Gold Guides. Available on Gumroad, these guides will teach you all you need to know about making gold in various versions of World of Warcraft. Farming, crafting, flipping, several different ways of making gold, all in one place. You also get access to a Discord server where you can interact and share ideas to make even more gold together. In that same Discord server, you will also get early access to gold making videos and exclusive content. So, if you are ready to take your gold making to the next level, go to solheim.gumroad.com and find the gold making guide for the version of WoW that you are interested in. Okay, so the worst thing that is currently happening in the game has actually nothing to do with the game itself. It is the community in the game. And before anyone blasts me for this, this is like the bare 1%. 99% is like totally fine and chill. But there's a community happening where people care a lot about their time, and a lot about efficiency, and a lot about loot in the game, to the point where it's starting to negatively impact the game. And I open you guys to discuss this in the comments down below, and feel free to disagree with me as well. I might be wrong here, I might have a very bad opinion, I don't really know, but I have an opinion, and I want to share it. So basically, there's something happening, it happened to me on stream, and I've been scouting Reddit a bit as well to see any posts about this, and we're talking about getting kicked from dungeons for various reasons. And this is like queuing up for a random dungeon and getting kicked. Now, one way people get kicked is by needing on loot. Yeah, if you need on loot, let's just say there's a 2-man pre-made or a 3-man pre-made, if you need on loot that they need, they will then initiate a vote kick for you. And if they are 3 people, they can automatically kick anyone, because as long as the majority presses yes, you end up getting kicked. Now if they're a 2-man pre-made, they can still initiate a kick, and they just have to have one more person click yes. And for some reason, when somebody initiates a kick, most people automatically press yes, unless you are top damage. But even in this day and age, you can get kicked for being bottom damage, or doing too much damage. I've been kicked for both reasons. I have been kicked for doing too low damage in a normal dungeon, by the way, when I did about 12,000 DPS at level 85, and I had regular questing gear, of course. I got kicked for not being heroic dragon soul gear, because a 3-man pre-made wanted to do a speedrun. They queued up for a random dungeon at level 85 as 3 people and kicked anyone who had bad gear. We were 2 people who had 400-ish item level, maybe 380, and we got kicked because we didn't do the same DPS they did. We did slightly less, and that was not okay. I'm just here how does that make sense? You're queuing up for a random. You should be okay with getting random people, and if you want to have a speedrun, that is completely fine. I'm not complaining about speedruns, but please, in that case, be a pre-made. If you're queuing for a random, you are queuing for a random dungeon with random people. You shouldn't just kick them for not being as good as you are. If anything, try to help them. Mists of Pandaria is bringing in a lot of new people to the game that hasn't even been here before. There's a bunch of people that skipped vanilla WoW, like vanilla, TBC and Wrath, because they were too slow expansions for them, and they had no connection to them either, for example. And then Cataclysm was, well, Cataclysm. A lot of people are coming to Classic now for the first time, and their first experience is joining a dungeon and getting kicked. In this case, right here that is on the screen, somebody needed on loot and got removed from the group when they won the loot. It is insane, and this is not the only thing we have. We, for example, have another post here as well, DPS unable to... This is summing up why people get kicked, by the way, and I think it's kind of spot on. Number 1, DPS unable to keep up, gets lost and dies, kick them. healer busy typing out a question, and he gets locked out of the door for an encounter, they get kicked. A trio of players are unable to make the tank play the way they want him to, they kick. A minor disagreement over some non-issue, kick. New player that hasn't figured out how to play WoW yet, kick. Everything is just solved right now from kicking. It is insane, I don't understand. And over here as well, kicked twice. 2 times the tank has pulled the last boss of Mogu'shan Palace and then vote kicked me. This is like Mogu'shan Palace on Heroic, for example, has a sword that is epic, but has a below 1% drop chance, and people are kicking other people from the group if they roll on the same loot, because they want the loot for themselves. So the tank will then, for example, pull the boss, and then vote kick any other plate user in the group. On the last boss, by the way. So this is what happened here. I assume it's because I play a warrior and he wants dibs on the sword, or any other plate loot, right? Fair play. A bit douchey, but why do I get a 30-minute cooldown? I would also say not fair play. You already cleared 95% of the dungeon, and the last boss is pulled. You are losing out on the Valor points. For example, if you were there for Valor points, you can no longer get them now. It is absolutely not fair play to kick someone. And on top of that, like he mentions here, and what I was gonna say as well, in my experience from getting kicked twice, number 1, I got kicked for doing too low DPS in a speedrunning group where there were once again 2 or 3 people. There were 2 people from the same server and a third one just doing okay DPS. They kicked 2 of us for doing below average DPS, or like 10,000 DPS at level 85, which I would say is okay, and definitely enough to clear the dungeon. We killed the bosses in less than 1 minute, and still, that wasn't fast enough, because they were trying to do a speedrun. The thing is, when you get kicked, you get a 30-minute deserter. So not only do you get removed, you get the deserter for it, even if you get kicked before the first boss, during the first boss, or at any point in the dungeon. You get removed from the dungeon, the group, and you are the one being punished for them being absolute idiots. Like, they are the ones with problems, removing you from the group, and you get the punishment for it. Imagine being a new player. You queue up for a dungeon, you are so happy to finally do a dungeon, you get removed, and you get a 30-minute debuff. It is absolutely stupid. So just, yeah, personally, I'm not a huge fan of the vote kicking going around. Like, people get kicked for anything these days, and I personally don't like it. Like, if you're in a speedrunning group, make a pre-made. And if you want to save loot for yourself, also make a pre-made. As a tank, that shouldn't really be a difficult thing to do. If you really want the sword from Mogu'shan Vaults, or you really want all the plate gear, make a pre-made. Invite a druid healer, a shaman DPS, and a mage DPS, and a priest, like a shadow priest DPS. Invite anything else in plate. And that way, the people you invite, they know it before doing the dungeon, that they are, like, you the only plate user. Don't queue for a random, and then kick other plate users. That is douchebag behavior, if you ask me at least. So at this point, I just want to ask you guys, is any of this okay? And are you the ones doing it? Or, like, what's up? What's happening? There's so many Reddit posts about this. I myself have been kicked twice. I don't understand. It's a really bad movement, and it's heading in the wrong direction. And also, Blizzard, you're not watching, but if you are, or anything else, can we please make it so that when people get kicked, they don't get deserter for it? Because that is a stupid mechanic when you get removed from the dungeon, and you get a 30-minute deserter. Because it says on the deserter, by the way, that you abandoned your group. You didn't. Your group abandoned you. Either way, bit of a rant, but rant over. So once again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll be live on Twitch and YouTube today as well. So come by and say hello, tell me how right or wrong I am, and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more content. As always, voice crack, but also thank you for watching. I'll see you again in the next video very soon.